Today we are going to learn how to hand letter with creative shaping, and to do this we are going to need a ruler, a pencil, and a brush tip pen. Creative shaping is something that you will see a lot in hand lettered quotes or just doodles. The first method that I am going to teach you uses growing and shrinking letters, and this is probably best done using printed capital letters instead of cursive. Otherwise it gets a little crazy. But the first thing you're going to do is take your ruler and draw a straight line, a few inches long. Then go ahead and draw a second line about an inch apart from your first line, the same length, and connect the top corner with the bottom opposite corner. And it doesn't matter which way this goes. You can start with the left corner or the right corner. And then the second step is to pencil in your design. And as you pencil in your design, be really careful that your capital letters go all the way from that top line to the bottom line. And if they don't, you won't get the full shrinking effect as they go up the line. They'll kind of look a little bit wobbly when you erase your lines. But if you're really careful and you fit your letters within the template of those straight lines, it'll look really balanced. And as you get more comfortable with this, you can try longer lines or creating different diagonals to make different effects. If you have a really long line, it kind of takes longer for the letters to stretch out. And if you make the lines a little bit shorter, the difference between the large and small letters will be a lot more drastic, a lot faster. The third step for this method is to ink in your design. Again, being careful that your capital letters go all the way from the top to the bottom. Just go slow and carefully, and it'll look really nice and neat. And as you get more comfortable, just experiment with lots of different styles. In just a second, I'm going to show you in fast forward some different ways or different things you can do with this method. You can make extra lines, extra ways for the letters to grow and shrink, and it's just fun to try a bunch of different ways and get creative with it. That's my biggest tip, is just to feel creative and try lots of different ways. The second method that I like to use for creative shaping uses curves, and I use this method a lot more often than the first method. It seems to fit better with quotes. And when you use the ruler to measure, it makes it really nice and even. It's easy for my curves to get sloppy, but when I take the time to measure everything out, it makes it look really nice and neat. So the first step is very similar. You are going to draw 2 ticks on your paper with your ruler, again about a few inches apart, and then you're going to find the mid line between those 2 ticks, the center. So draw your first tick, your second tick about an inch or an inch and a half apart, and then the middle. The next thing you're going to do is just connect the lines. Make it a nice rounded curve. The next step is to pencil in your design again. I'll write the same quote just to keep it simple. I'm going to write hello there on the curve. And I find it helpful to kind of move the paper as I go so that the letters don't get tilty. That's the problem that I sometimes see with curves. Again, making sure that the letters touch that line so that they stay nice and organized rather than bouncy. And then just like the first method, the last step is to ink in your design. And like I said with the first method, there are about a million ways to do this. You can curve the line up, you can curve it down, you can grow and shrink within the curve, you can make the curve go up and down. There's just so many different ways, and you can get creative and just have lots of fun with it. And just like before, I'm going to show you a lot of different ways you could do this method in Fast Forward. So just get creative and try lots of different ways. Thanks for watching.